What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about how it really is that damn phone. You know how your parents are always like, oh, you don't know how to like socialize, or you don't know how to, live life because of this piece of technology right here? It is very true. Not many people realize how often they're on their phone, how much anxiety it gives people to even have a conversation, how much anxiety it gives people to even, want to get outside. Everyone's so focused on a screen, so focused on playing video games, listening to, music, watching a TV show, watching movies, looking at social media, everything like that. And it's all caused of a screen, because of this phone. And a lot of people, whenever they go through life, they don't know how to have social skills. They don't know what it's like to really interact with people because they're so used to talking on, using their thumbs to text. They're so used to being on a screen to FaceTime. They're so used to being on the phone to not even look at a person. So they can do whatever they're trying to do, but they're still on the phone talking to a person. And, it takes away from humanity. And I think that one of the key things that a lot of people don't realize is that being on a screen all the time kind of dehumanizes you. It makes you more of like a robot, because you're like, oh, I don't know where my phone is at. I gotta go see where my phone is at. I gotta check on what's the latest social media content. I gotta check on what's the latest TV show that just came out. What's the latest movie that came out? Oh, a new album just came out. And everything is like so, focused on being on your phone that you don't even realize how much you're addicted to it. You don't realize how much you got to really keep it on you to always be looking at it. You know those people that's like at functions. Maybe you're one of these people. You're at a function and you got that person that's in the corner or that's chilling on the couch and they're just constantly scrolling, right? They're not interacting with anybody. They're at a place where you should be interacting. You should be active with the environment that you're around, but yet they're the people that's just scrolling on their phone all the time, right? You have those people that always have AirPods in because they always got to be listening to music, just to kind of give them less social anxiety. You got to be careful of that, because then you start depending on those things. What do you do when those aren't there? What do you do when your phone isn't there to just go to, when it's not in your pocket, when you got to actually socialize? What do you do when you got to actually be in an environment where you got to interact with people and you don't have your music to just give you less social anxiety? Right? When you're bored, you just want to look on social media. Whenever you're bored, you want to play games on your phone. You want to feel like you need to text somebody. You feel this constant need of doing something, right? And the thing is, though, having this phone gives you that type of power where you can just look on there and look at anything you want to. And one of the things that I've learned, especially as I used to be super heavy on social media, I mean, clearly I am, but it's more so for content purposes, that you can be very addicted to it. It becomes addictive and you start sitting in your room, you're sitting there for hours scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. You waste time, you start procrastinating. You say you're going to do something, you're like, okay, well, let me just, look at this content. Let me just look at this video. Let me listen to this music. And you get tired. You feel unmotivated. You don't want to do stuff. You're like, okay, there's one more show. Then you sit there for 2 more hours and you realize where the time has went. You got to be careful with that. And the thing is, how a lot of people, they don't understand is that in life is going to give you multiple things that you can always be distracted by, that's going to steer you away from your goals. The thing is that what you don't understand is that people making music, or people making TV shows, people making movies, they were on their, they were focused on what they wanted to do to be able to produce and put it out. And now you're the person that's consuming it. Be the person that's producing. Be the person that's out there trying to be somebody other than being the producer. Other than being the consumer all the time. People consume social media and everything all day. That's because people are putting social media content out. People produce. And if you're not a producer, then you're going to sit there in your little slouch bag or in your bed just consuming everything. So it really is this phone. A lot of people, they don't realize the power of this little device, this little screen. It gives you a lot of things to, manage in life. It makes it very accessible to go throughout. But at the same time, there's so many things that can take away from life. And you got to be careful how addicted you are to it. I know some people, they like to put like certain time, not time stamps, but like time stuff on their phone to where like it limits them from being on a certain app for too long, for them being on, social media or playing this game for too long. You got to be very careful and cautious of those things, because if you're going to consume everything that's on your phone or everything that's out there, then you're not going to be able to produce anything. It's going to be very hard for you to want to be out there and create something for yourself, because you're so used to just taking in all the other, consumptions. And, some people, I get it. You do it for motivational reasons. You do it for, content creating reasons. You do it for creative reasons. Some people do it for the good uses. I'm not saying every time someone uses social media or someone, does something is bad at all. Because I do it myself. I sit there and I scroll sometimes a little too long. And, that's just part of being on the phone and being on your social media. But you got to be careful of how much time it's utilizing. How much time you're actually using when you're on your phone. If you look at your screen time and it increases every single week, or you have a lot of screen time, where is that screen time going? And most of the time, if you're on social media, it could be Instagram, it could be TikTok, it could be maybe Facebook if you're a little bit older. If it's games, then it's just certain games that you're just sitting there, you're playing for forever. If it's shows, then it could be Netflix, it could be Disney Plus, it could be Hulu. You got to be careful of where your attention is going, because overall it is going to decrease the humanization in you. I truly believe that. And I meet so many people now that, they're so addicted to their phone, or they're so addicted to wanting to be on something that they don't know what it's like to really talk to people. They have social anxiety. They don't know how to talk. They like to stutter, There's nothing to talk about because the person doesn't have any actual substance to them, and you just got to be very careful of that. So, be cautious of this phone, because this type of device hinders a lot of people. And, if you don't use it to the advantage that you should, then it could be you that's being hindered. You got to think about it, especially like adults, parents and stuff like that. Like, they always just give their kids a tablet. They always say, go play your games or go to your room and, go watch this show so you can stop bothering me. But it really hinders them too, because it trains them that being on a screen or being in a place where you're trying to learn from something else doesn't give you the best impact. If you're not learning from your parents, or you're not learning from, the environment that you're around, and you're learning from a screen or you're learning from a TV show, is very helpful, sure. But it also hinders the kid, because they're so used to, let me just go to this screen, let me go watch this TV show, instead of going to the person that's right next to me to help me, And that's where I think a lot of parents fall short, is because I've seen it so many times where it's like, nowadays, they're like, what, I have so many different resources, and I get it. It makes it easier to just send your kid to be like, look, go watch the show. It's educational, it's kid friendly. But then again, you're teaching them that looking at a screen and learning from a screen instead of learning in person or having that human interaction, that it's okay. And it starts to hinder them for the long run, because it teaches them at a young age that it's okay to do that. And then when they get a phone or they start looking at YouTube on, and it's not kid friendly, if you will, it's more so just for older people, then they're just like, okay, well, I'm gonna learn everything from the internet, or I'm gonna learn everything from, this TV show, and it takes away from the human experience of actually learning in person. So you just gotta be careful of that. And a lot of people, they don't understand that the power of the screen does to people. So, y'all, this sun is blazing right in my eye. I'm trying so hard not to look up. If y'all can't tell, I'm looking to the side and stuff, just so that I don't get blinded. But that's just one of the key things I think a lot of people don't realize. And if you realize it and yet you're not doing anything about it, then why is that? Is it that you're that addicted to your phone? Is it that you're that addicted to the adrenaline rush of, oh, someone just texted me, I gotta reply. Someone just liked me, someone liked my stuff on Instagram, I gotta see what it is. Someone just posted on their Snapchat story, I gotta see what that is. This movie just dropped, I gotta go see what it is, because it's something new, it's the hottest thing out. And we're surrounded by screens everywhere. They're starting to be in cars, they're starting to be in Teslas. They're the same thing, but you got a whole iPad in your car now, and it takes away everything else that you're so used to controlling, and now you can control that with the touch of a pad. My bad, y'all. So, this world is starting to become more technology based. We got AI bots already running around, and we got AI programs. You got better innovative phones that are now carrying AI and screens being put everywhere. And you just got to be careful of what is really gathering your attention and what's really going to direct your life. because the more that you're so focused on, a screen or a machine that's going to gather your I'll say your habits and what you like and everything like that, the more that it kind of dehumanizes society, I personally think. So that's really all I got for you on this video. I just think that a lot of people, that don't realize the power of having the phone, having screens surrounding them, and the influence that it has on people. And if you don't realize the influence that it has on you, then hopefully this video opened your eyes a little bit to realize that, like, I am on my phone all the time. I'm always looking at social media. I'm always playing games. I'm always trying to, figure out whatever tools I need to figure out on my phone, and it could definitely hinder the success that you have. But if you utilize it for the correct reasons, it can also make it successful and wonderful. So just make sure you utilize it for the power and the purpose that it's meant to be used for. You don't always have to be on your phone. And if you're the person that has social anxiety, or you're not used to talking to a bunch of people, then get outside, touch grass. So many people, they just sit in their houses or they sit in their rooms and they're just like, let me just eat food and be on my phone all day. Let me just eat food and play the game all day. Let me just eat food and watch the movie all day. You got to get outside, take a walk, take a jog, go to the gym, get out and get active, because you start procrastinating when you say you want to do things, or you want to be a place on time, but yet you are so caught up in whatever is on your phone that you stay wherever you are. And now you're 30 minutes late. Now it's, I should have left 10 minutes ago, but now I got to get ready and I got to rush, right? It's because of that phone. But hey, that's really all I got for y'all. I'm sorry, I started ranting at the end, but it's truth. There's truth in that, because I've been there too. I'm not gonna say I'm exempt to it, but it's just part of human reality. Looking at these little devices, we call it iPhone and Androids and Samsungs. So that's really all I got for you on this video. Follow my socials on King Malone. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and until then, I will catch you on the next video. Gone.